Hi, Rich again here, Tri-County Air, Install Manager. Today, we're going to talk about how we make a torpedo here at Tri-County. We're going to learn the proper tools to do it safely, proper way to seal it, and how we do things here at Tri-County. Got a lot of things to consider here when we start handling sheet metal. Every edge on this is sharp. Factory edge, cut edge, and this finish edge is actually very sharp because it's not a hammer. Anytime you're handling sheet metal, you need to take into consideration if gloves will be necessary. For this demonstration, when I cut the hole in the round pipe, I have my safety glasses here, which you should adorn anytime you are cutting, striking, chipping, anytime floating debris is possible. All right, so this is how we start. This is a 14-inch 30-gauge piece of sheet metal pipe manufactured by Snaprite. This is the long longitudinal seam on the pipe. As you can see, I've already cut this pipe and assembled this pipe. Things we want to think about before we cut our tap in is number one, the length. Since we're only cutting in one tap, it doesn't matter which side the tap goes to. But if you're making a torpedo with 2 or 3 taps, you need to think about the layout beforehand so you have enough room underneath the hone to work. First thing we're going to do to this piece of pipe is mark our 8-inch hole. This is a rarely used tool because now there's a Sharpie, but when I was a younger man working in the sheet metal shop, this is what we used to lay out everything. These are called dividers. These are made by Malco, and you can get them at any supply house. I have this preset to 4 1/16, which is going to give me an 8 1/8 inch hole. Mark it just like you did back in school with the protractor. It's probably really hard for you guys to see, but I've scribed a nice 8-inch round hole right here. For this part of the demonstration, we're going to disassemble the pipe for ease of cutting. Now our work is right in front of us on a nice flat surface. The next step we're going to want to do, we need a hole so we can start our snips. This is a Klein solid shaft screwdriver. It's made for this. There are also several sheet metal tools on the market specifically for this. Malco sheet metal hammer. All right, we've got a nice hole busted. Now we just open it up with the screwdriver a hair, and our snips are going to fit right in there. These are Midwest offset left-hand cutting snips. Now I'm cutting my hole, simply tracing the 8 1/8 inch scribed hole. A lot of installers use a Sharpie, which would be absolutely fine. I just wanted to show you guys the dividers so you know they existed. What's nice about the dividers, they give you a very sharp line. That hole is fantastically sharp. I just cut it. I would definitely use caution. Now we check the fit. That's nearly perfect. We can definitely work with that. Now we begin the reassembly of the pipe. This is called an Acme seam, and the male end just fits in this female end, and you push the two pieces together just a hair. If you're concerned about your pipe coming apart, you can always screw it together thusly. This pipe is now mechanically screwed together. We go back to our hole. My pre-cut collar. Fits in the hole very well. Now is where we're going to want to use that Sharpie, because you notice the contour of the pipe is not straight. We're going to need more of the pipe here than we are here. So what we're going to do, we're going to look inside our pipe and make sure our 8-inch pipe is coming in at least an inch, because we're going to bend some tabs and make this into 14-14-8T, technically. Got my Sharpie, got my pipe cut into my larger pipe. Let's trace it and see our contour now. Now, as you see, we have the contour of the round pipe marked on our 8-inch collar. Now we're going to trim the contour to about an inch, and we're going to use this 1 inch to bend our tabs and give our collar some strength. Trimmed. This tool is called a dovetail tool, or it's a Malco notcher. We're going to begin creating our tabs now. When you're cutting this, you want to think about a tab collar. These tabs are not only going to hold this in, but they're going to give us something to seal to, so our sealant doesn't just fall right through. It's going to give us a good forever bond, because we're going to mechanically fasten it as well. Rich, I just got into this trade. I don't have dovetail notchers. Those are expensive. No problem. We can go right back to the snips. The dovetail notchers are just a matter of convenience. And another tool I just wanted you to know existed. All right, so we're almost done with our notching here. And it doesn't necessarily have to be uniform. It doesn't necessarily have to be level. If you notice, some of my notches are much bigger than the others. That's absolutely fine. There we go, ready to go. We're gonna move these tools out of the way. We're gonna bring our Torpedo back into the picture. One of the things I like to do to add extra strength is I bend every other tab over. Not only is this going to give me a way to mechanically fasten my piece of pipe to this piece of pipe, but it also gives both sides of the tab a piece of metal to hold on to. Now we just carefully, sharp, sharp, sharp. Everybody. That is so sharp, please be careful. Now you see, we just stick our hands right in, nice and careful, because it is so sharp. Now we push all our tabs flat to the metal pipe. To secure it permanently, we're going to add a couple screws. This is called mechanically fastening. These are Malco 1/4 inch zip bit screws, which are perfect for light gauge pipe. 2 screws will hold that in for a lifetime. I can't connect anything to that, Rich. It's 8 inch. That's why we got the Malco crimpers right here. Just like this factory crimp, we're gonna need one here, and we're gonna need one here. And if you'll notice, as I crimp this, I'm actually shrinking the pipe by about an 1/8 inch. This will help me put another piece of pipe. Typically we use flex duct, but you're not going to connect anything without a crimp. Ready to be connected. Next step, sealing the torpedo. Seen a lot of guys in the field using tape to seal this. I got news for you, fellas. Tape is not a sealant. Tape is a fastener. Look at your submittal. Mastic is an excellent sealant. I know what you're gonna say. Rich, I gotta go in this house and put this person's thermostat on. I can't get mastic all over me right now. I understand. That's why we're gonna do the inside of this one. It's screwed, so we know it'll never fall apart. And all we gotta do is take care of it from the inside. Let's get you a good view. And if you'll notice, the flexible mastic, that's why we use mastic as a sealant and not tape. Number 1, it's flexible, and number 2, it's for sealing duct. It is a listed sealant, and the only way to go. Now, if you notice, I'm not just painting this. I don't want it just white. I'm looking for it to be sealed. So you may have to get it on a little thicker. See how nice and thick that is? That's well sealed, folks. You're now ready to insulate your torpedo. This torpedo video is going a little long, so you're gonna have to catch me in the next one.